So I want to give you guys a breakdown on the trades that I took today here on NQ. So you guys can get a little bit of a better understanding as to why I'm taking a lot of the trades that I do take. And on top of that, like I want you guys to start getting into order flow as well. Even if you trade ICT, price action, support and resistance, supply and demand, it doesn't matter. Order flow will give you a better understanding of what the market participants are doing and where price should head based off of the market participants' interactions. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you guys, of course, the trades that I took today. So on my personal account, I only traded today NQ, which as you guys can see, I made a total profit of $27,000 with a total commission paid of 64 or $640. Here are my entries. Here are my exits. Now I did also take this trade on an eval as well, which is going to be my alpha futures evals. So I'm currently in the standard evals, and I do have three funded accounts, which these are going to be the standard evals. I do have three advanced funded accounts with them. So if you guys also want to trade on alpha futures and get some of the highest payout caps in the industry, you guys could use code LMB at checkout for 20% off. But first and foremost, what we have to understand based off of the market conditions today really is understanding balance and imbalance. So if we actually look at a volume profile, which this is a volume histogram that shows us volume traded at price, what we're going to see is that in between this area, this is where the market was deemed as balanced. In between this high and this low, where we have this high volume node, this is where the market found balance. And all that simply means is this is where the larger participants and institutions inside of the markets are actually accumulating. And you guys could see throughout this entire range, we have a lot of buying, we have a lot of selling going on in this area. So if the market were to break beneath this balance and hold beneath, we can expect a continuation lower. Now, if the market, and this is basically what I told my students here on ES in the live training room, if the market were to break above balance and hold above balance, that would be an area where we could look to start taking longs. So if we actually pay a little bit more closer attention to this area here outside of this high volume node, we have this previous area of structure where we do have a nice break and retest of this structure point. And the whole point of order flow is to help us identify what these participants are doing. We could see here on the order flow and on the big trades indicator that we do have some aggressive selling coming in, but that aggressive selling was absorbed by passive buying, and you can see price pop right back up. Then we could look at cumulative volume delta, where we could see more buyers are actually coming into the market at this point here, where we saw a large seller and then a large buyer come into the market. So this started giving me the confidence that, hey, you know what, we're most likely going to continue to break out towards the upside. If we do break out towards the upside, I want to see a pullback back into balance. And if price can actually hold, and that's when we can start to look to take longs. Now, price did exactly that. I didn't participate in any way, shape, or form until we actually started to see participation up here from the sellers. We could see we pushed up into a new high of day. We have a lot of selling coming into the markets. All of these big red dots are going to be large sellers on single orders of 25 contracts or more. So somebody that would be considered a large seller and a big trader on the big trades indicator to me. So what I was looking at here was this large seller that came into the market where we saw a little bit of a pullback and then price immediately reclaimed above that area. I started seeing more selling coming into the markets, but noticed that there wasn't any follow through with that selling, meaning that we have passive buying supporting the market higher. So all of these large sellers are pushing into bids. These large sell aggressive orders are pushing into buy limit orders, and that's what's supporting and holding the market up. Now, my thesis was okay, well, if we continue to actually see this absorption hold from the buyers, we could definitely see price continue to actually push up. Now, if we see price action continue to push up, where could we potentially push up to? Notice it started taking the longs in this area here at 26,138, which is going to be roughly down here, 26,138 inside of this area. And what I saw on the order book, which this is going to be a heat map, is notice this huge red line that we have here. This is going to show me that there was an offer sitting here on the order book compared to this offer over here, compared to this offer over here as well. So there's a large seller with a sell limit order sitting inside of this area, which is going to be 26,175. So my thought process was, okay, well, as long as the bids or the passive buyers, which you could see all throughout this range. We had bids and passive buyers supporting the market here, and these sellers kept failing to push price lower. Then we could see price pop back up, and I'll look to take longs up into this offer here at 26,175, which we could then see we had more selling start coming in. And as soon as I started to see some buying appear on the tape, simply meaning that I saw some aggressive buying here, this is where I decided to execute myself into the trade. So I had trades staggered along this entire area here, and I ended up basically just holding all the way to take profit. It's really as simple as that. The invalidation point for me would have been if we would have seen price reclaim beneath where this large seller originally got trapped, and then price made new highs. So that would have been the invalidation point. So my stop was basically under this candlestick low here. My stops was just in this area here at 26,130, and then I was targeting 26,175, which is going to be all the way over here. So it's a really solid trade. It was a really quick scalp. It did take a little bit of time to actually play out. It took about maybe 15 to 30 minutes by the time I actually exited the trade, which really isn't that long, but we hit take profit pretty quick once this buying started to come back in. The whole thesis of this was we're seeing all of this trapped selling at this high of day, and the market kept getting supported by bids. And that was a confirmation that I needed from the order flow for me to take that entry long. So simple as that. I wanted to give you guys a quick breakdown. Again, if you're somebody who's trading NQ, if you're somebody who's trading ES, just simply adding a volume profile, understanding balance versus imbalance, and adding a big trades indicator will give you much more confidence inside of the markets to be able to execute. And of course, if you guys want to execute these trades with me live every single day, win, loss, break even, you guys can click that very first link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one.